stats that the Mets basically gave 1,000 at bats last year.
Babe.
Hello, nasty.
Hello. Hello, friend.
Well, hello, little girl.
Hello, my treacherous friends.
Hello, operator. The beginning of everything.
Welcome back, my friends.
It's showtime.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 310 of The Brink of Sanity. I am Jay. With me is Bri.
Hi.
And Mark.
Hi.
All right, we did it. We got through the intro.
We apologize for not being on for the past little while, but as you Americans know, we are in a state of emergency, so we do have to kind of lay low.
I was in a state of emergency. I was in the I had flu that became pneumonia. Was in the hospital for a little while, and But I told everyone in the hospital I gotta get healthy again because I've got to hear about Stickman.
I was like, I
You
messaged
had
Mark
the flu
and I'm like,
and pneumonia.
Yeah, well, I had the flu, and like one of the side effects of the flu can be pneumonia.
That sounds like something that would happen to Jay. Like you'd get flu, then pneumonia, then like I don't know, the bird flu or something.
I messaged Mark and I'm
like,
like, are you feeling better? And he's like, yeah, I'm in the hospital.
Well, generally you feel better in the hospital.
It was ridiculous because I got like this bad cold, and that like for like it was like on a month right after Martin Luther King Day, I got this bad cold, and I was feeling like shit. And then I'm like starting to feel a little bit better over the weekend, and then the following Monday I started to get this bad cold again. By midweek I had the flu, and I'm feeling like crash. I keep asking Jay, how do I know if I'm feeling better from the flu? And Jay's like, I don't know. You just kind of start getting your energy back. I'm like, I think I'm feeling like I'm going to die, and then I had the pneumonia. That's not the direction it's supposed to go.
So it's been fun.
Yeah, actually, I got diagnosed with pneumonia, and they said if you start to feel any worse, go to the hospital. And so the next day I was like, hey, honey, can you drive me to the hospital? But now I'm 100%. Now I am doing a lot better. So, no.
Well, we're all grateful for that.
I'm sure you are, Bri. I don't know what I meant by that.
How long you were in the hospital? Like a day?
I was only two nights.
Oh, okay.
But like it was like I went there. I thought they were gonna. I kind of thought they would just see me and be like, "Okay, take this and go home." And so, because you don't really think they're gonna like keep you there. And the doctor was like, "Okay, we're gonna probably keep you at least 2 nights." And I was like, "You're fucking with me." And then they're like, 20% of your left lung, 20% of it is filled with fluid, which is pretty bad. And there's some fluid in your heart, so we need to monitor that.
Did you tell the nurses about your aunts?
Yeah, I blamed my ants actually. They actually said the fluid actually was just a bunch of ants.
I think it's Jay's mold that caused the flu for you.
It might have been. Jay had the flu earlier in the year. You started the year off with the flu, right, Jay?
I had the flu for Christmas.
Oh, well, that's what they isn't that like a holiday thing? Like
I guess you were bad last year.
That's my favorite Christmas song. I'll be flu for Christmas.
I hope I have a white robe for Christmas in the hospital. I have a question for you guys.
Okay. I have an answer for you.
Okay, awesome. So my daughter goes to preschool. She's actually about to turn 5 years old this coming weekend. But she goes to preschool, and the preschool tomorrow, someone who was a former director of the preschool passed away really recently, and they're shutting down the entire preschool tomorrow, so people can go to the funeral. So basically, they're canceling school.
Well, it is going to snow totonight, so I guess you can.
Well, I guess I understand that. Like, if a lot of people there knew the person, they wanted to go to the funeral. Totally understand. But do you think the school should have to make that day up?
No.
No?
No.
I kind of want either them to make it up or give me my money back for that day.
It's preschool. Like, guys, we got to catch up. We're behind on coloring.
Can't the kids just color on Saturday at home?
Yes, I understand educationally it doesn't matter if they go or not. But like I'm paying for it.
Yeah, but are you paying per day?
Well,
like, are you sending your daughter to school with a check?
I know I'm not paying per day. At the same time, I will break out the math and figure out the price per day because it's expensive. Why should I pay for them to like? I totally understand going to the funeral, but they have lots of like random days off anyway, like teacher conferences and whatever. They have way too many days off anyway. Just take one of those days back.
Couldn't they bring the kids to the funeral as like a learning experience to teach them about death? Or is that they're too young for that?
I don't know. Maybe they can go. They can say that line about they're in a better place now.
Yeah.
Then everyone's like, well, if they're in a better place, shouldn't we all want to get there?
Yes.
Yeah. Pass the gun.
And the entire room drank the fruit punch, and oh well.
That got dark pretty quick.
Yeah, they got that dark really quick. I think the school should make it up or give me my money back.
So this is just about you being cheap.
I don't know. Liz was like, please don't ask for the money in the first email.
So your first email is like, it's like a build up to it. You're building your case to asking for the money back.
So
Yeah.
if you write a letter to them, I was joking at work about this because a client wrote to me that she's owed a bunch of money. So if you write a letter to them, at the bottom you should put this is to collect a debt. You know, that little like debt collection language they put there. You should put that at the bottom of your letter.
That should be actually a subject line. Like I wrote a really really nice email to them, but the subject line's debt collection.
Yeah. This is an attempt to collect the debt.
Yeah, like I'm really sorry to hear about your loss. Totally understand closing the school, but tell me how you're going to make this up to me.
I spent 5 hours crunching the numbers, and you owe me $132. You can make the check out to.
Plus the time that it took me to calculate all that, $135.
If you want to, it's totally cool. If you want to give the check to my daughter, just make sure she brings it home with her in her book bag. So you guys think I'm being ridiculous?
Slightly.
Yeah.
I mean, I am paying for childcare or whatever they do there. They should arrange for another time to color with my kids, my daughter.
You should really probably sue the estate of the guy that died.
Yeah, you should probably call them.
Actually, instead of even like writing an email, ask what's going on. I just like serve them with papers.
Yeah, call the probate court and be like, "Excuse me, I want to put a lien on the estate."
It's complete bullshit. I want school. It is a weird reason to cancel school. I mean,
I don't want my kid to be home where I have to spend time with her and talk to her. And
So what's going on with Stickman, Bri?
Well, it's been a long time since we've been on the air.
Right after the Stickman last show, like the next week, Bry's like something major happened. He's like, we have to talk about it, and then we didn't do a show for a month.
But
yeah,
Bri did say, I will tell the story as long as we don't record again in March, and we just made it.
Oh,
I don't remember saying that, but
if Jay says you took it, you did. Oh, actually, before we even get into the Stickman, because this might take a while, Jay, don't you have an important announcement?
Do I?
What major thing happened in your life? Come on, Jay, share the good news.
he got the flu.
I got my paper signed for the CPA.
No, I thought you were coming out as a woman. Yeah, he's becoming a CPA.
So it's literally just waiting for the paperwork to clear and them to mail me my license. So
if you remember last week, Bri, or last show,
Yeah, I remember.
Jay had to get for our fans at least. Jay would have to get a new job, work there for his whole year, and convince them to sign his form to become a CPA. And Jay has actually gotten the form signed.
yes, so major headway as far as that goes.
You saved a year of your life.
Yes.
That is all. Congratulations.
Thank you. I needed a win.
From here, what is it from here to become a CPA? What happens now?
Literally, they just have to process it and send me my license. That's it.
Okay.
So I'm pretty much done.
Okay.
They should
on
be
your
getting,
resume, does it say like J CPA and in parentheses waiting for letter?
TBD.
Yeah, so they should have gotten the letter today, actually. So however long it takes them to process. I heard it could take anywhere from 2 weeks to 4 months.
Where do you mail it to? Like, is it Albany or where?
I don't remember. I don't mail it. I'm not allowed to. The experience requirement, whoever signs it has to mail it. I'm not allowed to touch it.
Oh, so you don't know where like it actually goes.
Right. Well,
Because
I could have looked at the address.
That's like the rules when you're a kid and you farted. Whoever smelled it dealt it.
Yeah.
It would just be great if you could stand outside their office, just like keep staring at your watch, being like, come on, guys, come on.
We really need this to get a move on.
You don't know how long I've been waiting for this. Okay, so Bri, Stickman, what's going on? Do you want to do? Should we do a refresher on Stickman for people that didn't hear,
Yeah.
don't remember?
Yeah, do a
Sure.
brief,
Yeah, you
brief
can.
recap.
You could do a quick recap if you'd like.
Okay. So where Bri lives, he can see from his window a neighbor's apartment or neighbor's condo where an ex-boyfriend who's the person? Is he an ex-boyfriend?
Yeah, I believe so.
They believe someone's ex-boyfriend comes by at night and leaves a stick by their garage. And the idea is that when the garage door opens, the stick moves, so he knows whether this person leaves their house, I guess.
I don't know what that does, but yeah. Oh, she
I
left.
know what.
Okay.
I'll tell you. Do you know what it does? I can tell you what it does, Jay. Do you want to know what it does?
Yeah.
It makes Bri very angry.
That
And
is
he's been
true.
telling everyone he knows how he's going to murder or dissect this human being when he finds him. He is so angry about Stickman.
Which leads me to.
Oh, and by the way, Bri, we found out that he's living with a ghost dog.
I don't know where the ghost dog thing came from, but
Gee, you showed us video after video, and there was a ghost dog in the video. Do you not remember? There was a.
well, he's a real dog. It was just a reflection.
No, it used to be a real dog, but it has left the earth and now is it has left. It's now in was it purgatory that it's living in?
Purgatory dog.
Oh.
Purgatory dog. Like it's a ghost. When a
Okay,
ghost
let's move
okay,
on.
move on.
Yeah.
Okay, so what happened?
Well, I guess it was almost it was about 6 weeks ago. That was the Friday of Martin Luther King Day weekend. I saw Stickman outside. I confronted him, and well, it turns out he's one of the biggest black guys I've ever seen in my entire life, and he threatened to kill me.
So from afar, Stickman did not look big. Like did not look quite as big from afar.
He didn't look like a maniac.
Okay, so how does this play out? You're at home and you see him going over to the.
No, I was out walking my dog. Okay.
At night.
Yeah, it was at night.
So did you purposely walk your dog hoping to catch Stickman?
No, I walked my dog because he has to go to the bathroom.
No, I was wondering, you could walk him in many different places, but you walked him purposely by where Stickman goes?
Well, I have to go by that. I mean, I have to go. I don't go on that side of the driveway to go out, but I walk the lengthwise and then to the left, and I go down the hill onto the main street. So I'm out on the main street, and across the street from where my complex is this old house from a colonial tourist attraction house thing, and then behind it is a big empty field, and I always take my dog over there to poop, and other people do it too. Okay. So I was behind this house.
What time is it?
It was about 7:00 at night.
Okay, so not really that late. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm behind the house, and I saw a car. There's this long driveway that goes back past where I was into this big industrial park, but a lot of cars will pull in there and turn around. And I'm behind this house, and I'm in this field and waiting for my dog to poop, and I see a car pull in and do a U-turn. And I looked up and I saw there was a white SUV, and I know he has a white SUV. So I was like, oh, maybe that's him. And then I could see the headlights of the car, and it didn't continue down the street like it would be going, so it must have turned up into the complex, which is next to me, which is where he parks. So I was like, sweet, I got him. This is him. So I pull come on. It's come on.
When you say you got him, what was the plan at this point?
Well, no, I was just like, oh, good, this is him. I could see him and say something.
Oh, so your idea was that I'm going to see him and I am going to confront him.
Yeah, I'm going to go up now and he's going to be out there and I'm going to say something to him.
What kind of dog is Ghost Dog?
Ghost Dog is a puggle. He's small. He's 30 pounds. He's not very scary.
Okay, so he's not going to. He's not going to defend you. If this guy's I'm going to hurt you. The Puggle's going to be I'll help him hurt you.
Yeah, he's probably not on my side at this point.
Okay.
So I look up and I could see that the car that did the U-turn didn't go down the street. It went up across into the driveway. So I was like, okay, this is probably him. So let's go. So I grabbed my dog.
Wait. Sorry to keep interrupting you, but what were you planning on saying when you confront him? What's the?
I really didn't have anything in mind. I wasn't sure. I was just I'm just gonna wing this. All right.
Okay.
So I start to go up the hill to my driveway, and I could see him. He's at the door. And so my driveway is like a hill. So I'm walking up the hill, and I see him, and I stop. And he looks at me, and I was staring at him. And I could tell, just like in the like 2 seconds where we were staring at each other, I'm like, oh, fuck, he's going to say something to me. So before he could say something to me, I said, don't you have anything better to do? And he goes, what the fuck did you say? And he starts like coming at me like big, long strides.
I have a
And
question. Is
yeah.
he holding a stick?
I don't know what he was holding. He was holding a cell phone, I think. And he takes like 2 big strides towards me. He goes, what the fuck did you say? And I was like, oh shit, he's a big fucking black guy. And he's like, don't you fucking ever talk. He's just, every other word was fuck. He's like, don't you fucking say anything to me. You got a fucking problem? I'll fucking kill you. I will end you right here. And I'm like, okay. And I kind of froze with fear for a second. I'm not going to lie. No, you can't interrupt. No.
I want to cut to how Bri wishes the interaction had gone.
No, we don't need to do that. You want to hear the story or no?
Okay, fine.
Story.
So I'm like, all right, well, this guy's going to fuck me up. So I took a couple steps towards him because I knew I would be on the camera site, right? Because I knew where the camera is. Ooh. So I'm like, all right. So, and meanwhile, my dog is just like sniffing around the grass. He's not even paying attention. He's just like, whatever. And he's like, don't you fucking ever get, what did he say? He said, he's like, I'll kill you right here. Stay out of my personal business. This is between me and my fucking fiance. And I just kind of went, oh, fiance. Okay. He goes, what the fuck did you say? And I was like, I didn't say anything. He said, yeah, you're real smart. And then he goes, then he must have realized that like he was getting himself in trouble because then he goes, he's like, yeah, come down to this gym in North Haven, Executive Boulevard. I'll fuck you up right there. I do MMA. I do jujitsu. Yeah, you got something to say. You think you're funny? Come down here. I'll fuck you up. And I was just staring at him like, oh, yeah, I'm going to go to your gym. That's sure. That makes a lot of sense. I'll go to the gym so you could beat me up and, legally. So I was just standing there kind of just shrugging my shoulders at him. And then finally
Do you feel good about the fact that he wanted to bring up, like he saw the difference in size, and still wanted to bring up his MMA background? Because he's like, I don't know if I could fuck this guy up without the MMA. Like maybe he thought it would be a fair fight if he didn't have the MMA stuff.
No, I think he was trying to scare me.
Wouldn't he have just scared you by coming up to you?
Well, he never got within like 10 feet of me. Like
you're describing someone that's a lot bigger than you. I would think he would just come up to you and go like, well, let's go down to the gym and I'll use the fact that I'm a lot bigger than you and beat you up.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think he was, he's like, oh, I'll fucking kill you because I know how to kill somebody. And I was just like staring at him, kind of just shrugging my shoulders. And then he's like, yeah, anytime, come on down. And he like named the place like 3 times. And then I was like, okay, yeah, uh-huh. And he's like, yeah, you still got something to say? And I was like, look, I'm just waiting for my dog because my dog was sniffing something. And then as I said that, a car pulled up. It was like a delivery driver. So he backed off and he like went back to the door. So I was walking. So then I started walking back to my house and he was watching me. And I think he called me a cracker ass. I'm not sure. So I heard him say something. And then I could see he was watching to see which unit I went into. And I just was like, all right, whatever. And then so after the fact, obviously, I thought of so many good things I could have said to him while I was there. But
that's the way that always works.
But I was kind of petrified because I didn't expect that to happen like that.
You know what this means now, don't you?
What's that?
It's going to be a stick on your door.
No, I thought of that. As a matter of fact, for the next, because I actually, that weekend, we got a big ice storm. So on Saturday of that weekend, the next day, I ended up staying at my dad's. And when I came back, I was like checking my door. I was like, make sure he doesn't put a stick in my door now. But then I was pissed because, so then I thought of all these good things because now like I looked up where the gym was, so I know where it was. So I was thinking of going down there and just like slashing his tires while he's there or like breaking all his car windows or something like that. But then I got to thinking and then I was talking to a couple of my neighbors. And I was like, oh yeah, he threatened to kill me and all this stuff. And at the first night I was like kind of like nervous, but then by the next day I was like, he's not going to fucking do anything. Because he would have already, he's not going to come to my door and like kick my door in and come after me. But then I started thinking like now if anybody calls the cops on him or if anything happens to him, he's going to blame me for it.
Probably.
Yeah. Brian's like, so long story short, I found out where he lives and I burned his house to the ground.
So that just made me mad. And I wanted to like do some, I was like, yeah, I should go to this fucking gym and like, slash his tires or like, call the cops and say like there's a pedophile sting going on in there or something. Like, but and then it's sort of died down. I've not encountered him again, and to be honest with you, I don't think I've seen him around in like the last like week or so.
So maybe you scared him off.
But a couple of nights he actually spent the night because his car was there all night.
Oh, so he brought his stick inside?
So I was really upset after that because then I was like, I hope I didn't push these two kids back together, you know? But yeah, so it turns out he's a big motherfucker, and he does MMA and jujitsu and whatever else.
So if they
But
made
I was
up,
like, I
then-
knew I was on camera, so I'm like, I just gonna kind of step towards the middle, and if he wants to come punch me out, you know,
Yeah.
I got the evidence. So
Can we now cut to how Bry wishes this counter had gone?
sure.
Jay, what was the line that Bry started off with?
Don't you have anything better to do?
You're right. I'm gonna leave. The end.
But I think as I was saying that, he was starting to say, "What the fuck are you looking at?" So
What did you think that was going to accomplish?
I don't know. I just thought he would just I don't know. I didn't realize that he was Rampage Jackson.
he kind of also knew apparently right away what you were talking about.
Yeah.
It wasn't like you said, "Don't you have something better to do?" And he's like, "What are you talking about?" He was like, "He knows about the stick. Leave me alone."
Yeah. Because what he'll do, like in times that I've seen him, like when he's there, if like a car comes, or if like somebody's out there, like walking, like somebody else is walking their dog, or a neighbor's out going to the dumpster or something, he'll either hide behind the car next door, or he'll act like he's ringing the doorbell and like waiting for someone to answer the door.
Maybe like this is just like, since he's the fiance, maybe this is just how they role play to keep like spice their relationship up. Like you leave the stick there, and then when I open the garage door, you take me.
That's one of the things I wish I could have said. Like at the time, I would have been like, "Oh, fiance, does she know that?"
Do you think that would have made things go better?
Probably not. And then the other thing I wish I would have said was when he told me to go to his gym, I should have been like, "Okay, who do I ask for?"
You should have said, "Can I borrow a piece of paper?" and wrote down like, "Okay, I'll write down the name of the gym. Is that 2 R's?"
So if they
So
made
that's
up,
really all
then this
that
whole
is.
thing kind of just came to a very anticlimactic end, huh?
Well, so far, yeah.
Unless he
Is
murders
it-
her.
Is it a big story in your like condo community?
Well, I actually ran into one of my neighbors last week when I was out walking my dog, and in the like 6 a.m, I was out, and he was in his car, and he rolled down his window, and I passed him, and he kind of like waved me over, and he was like, he lives right next door. He lives next door to them, and he was like, yeah, he's always around in the backyard, like going by their sliding door and shit, and he's like, yeah, you know, it snows and there's no one out there, and then in the morning there's footprints right by the door. It's like, what the fuck, you know?
Oh wow,
And
he's going to the
like,
back door too.
Yeah, and he's like, I told the guy, I go, if I see you running here, I'm going to shoot you. The neighbor said to him, you know, you're going to get shot if you keep trespassing back here, you know. And he said he threatened him, and he followed one of the other guys here to the mall and confronted him. And
Do you wish you had been to the neighbor and said, "I'm going to shoot you," as opposed to having the guy just bitch you out?
I said to him, I was like, yeah, I saw him a couple weeks ago, and he threatened to kill me. He wanted me to go to his gym so he could beat me up legally. And he's like, yeah, I think he's slightly disturbed. I was like, yeah, I think so. But I was thinking, like, the best way to, if he comes at me again, the best way to neutralize him is to kill her.
Is to kill her?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea, Bri.
It'd be easier than killing him. I could probably take her.
I just want to, in case the authorities ever listen to this show, I am not part of this conspiracy, Bri.
Okay.
I like how Bryce says he could probably take her.
I also like the idea that like he's only allowed to beat people up in his gym. Like how many people are falling for that? They're like, yeah, I met this guy and he threatened my life, but gave me a free day pass to his gym.
Yeah.
We
I wanted to be like, isn't that against like everything you train for and that stuff? Like you're not supposed to use that offensively.
We scheduled my
Yeah.
bloody massacre for next Tuesday at 7.
I mean, you know, I could have said that to him, but there's not really any rationalizing with him at this point. So
If you come to my gym, I will kill you. Well, I don't want to go, but now he invited me and I have to kind of go. It's awkward if I don't go.
What should I wear?
So what I'm thinking is, if I run into him again, and he says something, I'm just gonna be like, "Well, I'm training, so once I catch up to you, I'll meet you down there."
You should, next time you see him, be like, yeah, I look for you at Gold's Gym. And the guy's like, It's Powerhouse Gym. Shoot, I had the wrong gym. I waited for you all afternoon. How much bigger was he than you? Like, is he a lot taller or just like wider or?
He was just. Well, I don't know how tall he was, but I mean, he was built.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I guess there's not much. Is there more there, Bri? I mean, Jay?
No, I think that covers it. That was
I mean, it was more intense. Like if we'd done the show like a month ago.
yeah, but that
At
was
this point,
that was an unexpected twist. I didn't expect an instant death threat.
yeah, I didn't either.
Do you? Is it at like work? People are like, "What's going on with Stick Man? You were really fired up about that, Bri." Oh, nothing. He
Oh
my
yeah, no,
life.
I told them like matter of factly. Like I came in after the weekend, everyone was talking, and I was like, I said, oh yeah, that neighbor of mine, whatever. And one girl was like, yeah, I was like, hey, he threatened to kill me on Saturday. She's like, what? I'm like, yeah.
Were most people at your office just happy you actually didn't kill him?
They were like, are you crazy? Like you got to be more careful. I told I was. They're just like, you got to be more careful. You can't go confronting people like that. I was like, well, all I did was ask him a question. I wasn't chasing after him with a torch or anything.
In fairness, the guy that's leaving the stick probably is not the most stable person in the world.
Right? Yeah.
But he spent the night a couple of times.
Yeah. Which I was kind of hoping to run it to him in the morning and he'd come out to me and just do the point gun, the snap and point
Yeah,
you know what I did.
Why didn't you could have slashed his tires while he was there?
I thought of that, but then I'd be on my own camera, so in case the cops came, then I wouldn't want to turn over the evidence.
That'd probably be. So have you seen him do the stick thing since?
Yeah, I've seen him do it since then. Yeah, I haven't seen him in a while, although
Yeah.
I haven't been paying that much attention anymore.
Do you think she's dead? Maybe like he stayed the night, murdered her, and now you're like.
No, I see her car leave, but
Okay.
I mean, unless it's him driving, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe that was your one opportunity. If you stood up to him, he wouldn't have murdered her.
Mm. I kind of stood up to him.
Do you think? Could you do us a favor?
Yeah.
Could you confront him again and ask him if he wants to come on the show?
I'll ask him if he wants to take my place on the show. If he kills me, he has to become me.
He's like, what the fuck's your problem? What are you doing? I have a podcast I go on. We're talking a lot about this stick man. What? What are you calling me? I'm gonna leave. Now, my dog's just fitting. Bye. What's going on with you, Jay?
I have uncovered the newest Infowars conspiracy.
Does it involve Stickman or Ghost Dog?
It does not. No.
Is this the Patton Oswalt thing?
No, I want to hear about that too, though.
Oh.
Does it involve Jussie Smollett?
They are all over. They have posted about 50 articles about Smollett.
What's their take on it?
That it was a liberal planted story so that they could start a race war.
Okay.
Because apparently the left wants to start a race war.
Do they? Is there any point where they're like the race war part didn't happen?
Well, because they saved the day by uncovering the story.
Okay, so the story hadn't been uncovered. They hadn't called them out. Then, for those that don't know, Jussie Smollett was on some show called
Empire.
There were a lot of reasons. Basically, he staged a racist attack on himself, and then it's been found out that he staged it. Basically,
right.
Yeah.
Infowars always likes to
Crazy.
take a news story and then turn themselves into the heroes. So yeah, that's what they did. They said they were the ones who uncovered the story and basically stopped a nationwide race war. So
they figured they're like the guy from Empire. Some people came up to him, said some racist stuff to him. Next step, we're gonna bomb Texas.
Yeah.
Okay. Seems pretty logical. Thank you, Infowars, for saving the world.
Mm-hmm.
So what's going on? What's going on in Infowars?
You know what annoys me about the whole Smollett thing?
Yeah. What annoys you about the entire incident? Because it annoys most people.
Yeah.
Well,
Every single bit of it.
mostly the entire thing, but it's like, okay, well, there's two things that annoy me about it. The first is now all of a sudden everybody's like, yeah, that story, it sounded too, yeah, I always kind of thought there was something funny about that he like did it himself. That's all bullshit. Nobody thought that. Number one.
What? That no one thought it was fake at first?
Yeah, like as soon as it was like a reasonable doubt that it was like fake, everyone's like, oh yeah, I knew it. It's something about the whole thing didn't make sense and didn't add up. Like he had to be something off about that, like he was in on it or something. That's bullshit. Nobody thought that.
I wasn't following it till basically they came out that he had like staged it. But didn't the police right away think it was sounded suspect?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I wasn't following. Were you following right away with the story? Because I couldn't give a shit at first.
No, not really. But the people I work with are talking about it all the time, and I was just like, it just makes me want to blow my head off. But
Do you guys do you remember like just a similar kind of story? Do you remember the Rolling Stone had that big article about this girl that went to, I think it was like UVA, and she alleged like all this raping was going on campus?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that topic, but I don't think I never read the article or anything, but I know what you're talking about.
Oh, I remember the story. Someone at work was talking about it, and like she's like, you have to read this article. It's like, oh my god, what's going on there? And the article like this is one that the art like the girl gets raped at a party, and her friends are like, don't tell anyone because you got raped by a cool kid, and we don't want to get like the cool kids that not like us. And it was like, this doesn't sound real. And my coworkers are convinced that this has to be real. And then it came out that it wasn't real. But that was like a really this kind of story and the Justice Molly thing makes it like when real things happen, people don't believe you because of these bullshit stories.
Yeah.
But what else annoys you about it, Brian?
Oh, okay. So like when the story happened and he got beat up, like everybody, people who knew him and people in Hollywood were like, oh, I feel bad for him, whatever, and then all of a sudden it turned out to be fake. And all like now the Republicans are like, oh, you're an asshole because you supported him. You thought it was. It's like, well, when the facts come out and it looks like one thing, like, okay, I will feel bad for him that he got beat up. Oh, the facts changed. Well, I'm sorry. I was, like, you know what I'm talking about, or am I not?
Yeah, we're all. No, I understand. We're all not playing detective. We just heard some allegations. It sounded reasonable enough that could happen. We were like, okay, I feel bad for him.
Yeah, I feel bad for the guy. And blah. Like all these politicians are like, oh, we pray for him, and he's so strong, and blah blah. Well, then now it's a new set of facts, and the right wing people are like, how could you support him like that? He's a disgrace, blah blah. And it's like, do you understand time and space?
Are we not allowed to have an emotional reaction to anything until like there's been a full court case?
Yeah, well,
right. Yeah.
That's how Infowars basically spun it, and they said, the mainstream media was behind it, and they were all trying to start that, and then they changed their story once, we uncovered it, and it's like, no, they did their initial reaction, and when the facts changed, they did their reaction after that based on the new set of facts, but they're trying to spin it.
I mean, for the most part, the story, like, it's the only thing it's interesting about the whole story is that the guy staged it. Prior to that, it was just like, it was hard to really care what happened.
Yeah.
You feel bad for the guy, but it wasn't like a big story.
It must happen in Chicago, and like, there's crime all over Chicago. So, like, who gives a shit?
Yeah, I guess the most unrealistic part of the whole story is that two people on the street recognized him.
Yeah.
So what's going on in Infowars?
So this isn't a story by Infowars. Well, the story by Infowars was after Putin's warning to the U.S., Russian TV listed nuclear targets in the United States.
What was the Putin's warning for those that don't know, like me?
And me.
Warning! If you guys in America keep drinking Diet Coke, you'll find out it's not good for you.
So U.S. has missiles in Europe. And so Putin said they would be forced to respond if they didn't move the submarines. I mean, not submarines, the warheads.
Yeah. Where are the warheads?
Basically, we're surrounding Russia. So I can understand them not liking that.
Yeah, fair. Okay, let's not. I guess we don't get into the details. So Putin gave a warning.
Yeah. So multiple people in the comment section said, "This is nothing to worry about. Because nuclear weapons don't exist. Not one person, multiple people. So now nukes are a hoax.
They really are fun. Like it's. Are they trying to like top each other with like? Do they play your game on the site? I come up with something even more ridiculous to say.
If nukes don't exist, then why is Trump in Vietnam?
I said, well, isn't there like photographic and video evidence? And the guy's like, oh, the low tech video that was obviously staged, and he's talking about how in World War II Tokyo was firebombed, and there was like the same fire residue in Hiroshima. And
why are we negotiating with Iran about like nuclear weapons? Also, why like Iran's closer to building a nuclear weapon and a unicorn because neither of those exist.
I said, I responded, I'm like, I don't know if you realize, but nuclear weapons make things really hot. So there might be burnt things in the aftermath of a nuke. And video cameras weren't very good in the 1950s. And he said I was ignoring his proof. And I was like, I don't think you know what the word proof means.
It's kind of hard to argue with someone that's just against basic facts, basic things that exist.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys watch Last Week Tonight with John Oliver?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen this season yet, but I do watch it.
It really is a sad state of affairs in the world that we live in, though, that, like, you have to argue about facts. Like,
so he did a segment on the new season. He did a segment on psychics,
mm-hmm.
and he just started off by going, "We're not going to really debate whether psychics, like whether that's real. It's just not. So let's not debate that." He just did a whole thing about how the media likes to play them up.
And
but I just like how he started off by going, "It's not real." So just move on from there.
But you know, immediately there was thousands of people that were like outraged by that.
Yeah. No, I am sure. But like, it's just, you can't argue with someone that's going to say like, psychic powers are real, nuclear weapons are not, and gravity doesn't exist, the Earth is flat.
I don't know where people get these things from, and the fact that they're so adamant about it, it's pretty amazing.
Once you've chosen to leave, like go off the deep end, there's no way you're going to bring them back to like understanding. Like, oh, the way you explained it, the world sounds round. Oh, the way you explained it, that makes sense. I guess it was nuclear weapons.
No, they don't want to hear it.
Of course not. Like but I understand maybe. I don't know why you'd actually. I was gonna say I understand why you'd believe in flat. I don't understand why you believe in flat Earth. Like I understand why you maybe like would believe the moon landing was a hoax on some level, but why would you like believe nuclear weapons? Like, what's the reason for believing nuclear weapons are fake?
To keep people in fear and subservient.
So, like, if the U.S. didn't have these made-up nuclear weapons, we'd be like, "Okay, government, we're taking you down."
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. So a lot of people on the site were just like the person was like, I mean, this is stupid because nuclear weapons don't exist, and people are like, right on, let's upvote him.
Yeah. I saw multiple posts. There was only one guy that was arguing with me, but there was at least two other people that were also posting like, yeah, nukes don't exist, so this is a non-story.
Yeah. I don't even know what you say. You really say. How do you argue with that person? You know it doesn't exist either. You're a bot. You don't exist.
I don't. Yeah, I don't even know what you like. I tried because when at first he posted like how it's the low technology video and whatever, and then he said
maybe they think nukes are Bigfoot.
Maybe, but then he said like I didn't address his proof, and I said I was like interested. I'm like, well, where's your proof? I'd like to see it. And he's like, what I posted above. And I was like, oh, well, that's not proof. So
do you try asking what does he think we're negotiating with other countries? Like, what's North Korea and the U.S. talking about if they don't exist?
At some point, you're just like, what am I doing?
Like, couldn't North Korea be like, okay, we have them now? And we're like, no, you don't. They don't exist.
That's what
we have the real ones.
Kim Jong-un should say that to Trump. Be like, no, they don't exist. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
Trump would fall for that.
That's the end of those negotiations.
It'd be great if like they settled the Israeli-Palestine crisis by just going, Palestine doesn't exist.
Oh, like John Oliver when he was talking in the first segment when he was doing the one dude about climate change and about Jews, and he's like, "Yeah, Jews do exist."
Yes, that was funny. Did you, Jay? So you probably didn't. The craziest. Some guy was talking about. This guy actually is going to be head up the White House's look into climate change and whether it's a national security threat. And he said all the bad news about carbon dioxide is wrong, and the way people treat carbon dioxide is like the way the Germans treated the Jews during the Holocaust.
They
And this guy doesn't post on Infowars.
put carbon dioxide in ovens?
Apparently, it was vilified when the fact is carbon dioxide is a lot of benefits to mankind, like the Jews.
I mean,
And he also, the way he
he
said
lost
it-
me right there. So
The way he also said it sounded like both of them were in the past tense.
Carbon dioxide's really good at writing sitcoms.
carbon dioxide has all the world's money.
You know, I hate that the media is controlled by the carbon dioxide.
We have a news story from Andrew. He submitted, school bans Valentine's Day after 6-year-old tells teacher he would plow her into next week.
Nice.
Like he was going to like fuck her until next week,
Or
or
was he Amish and he wants to plow her?
I'm hoping,
or like did he mean hurt her?
I mean, I'm hoping he just watched the Simpsons Mr. Plow episode.
Yeah.
Mr. Plow, that's my name. She's like, oh, you watch Simpsons? No, I just want to have sex with you.
Did you know terms like that when you were a 6-year-old?
I can't really go back and ask. You know what? Actually, never mind. I could probably ask my son, but I don't want to explain to him what the terms mean.
Yeah, wake him up. Be like, son, do you know what plow you into next week means? All right.
You know what? So like as far as those kind of things, like I don't know what I don't think he knows that. But we were on vacation last week. We were in Costa Rica, and the place we were staying at this big pool. In the middle of the pool, there was like a hot tub, and
Carbon dioxide money, Jay, huh?
yeah. So my daughter like going to the hot tub area, and she's like, "We go to the hot tub. We go to the hot tub." And so we're going over there. It's me, my son, and my daughter. And these girls were all, for whatever reason, laying out right by the 5 girls, kind of all attractive, laying out right by the hot tub. And as we were heading there, like they're all laying, so we're heading towards their butts.
Mm-hmm.
Like you just see their butts like right in view. And my son just like looks and goes, "That's so sexy." I was like, "You're 7. What?" It was a little weird though, because as we were walking, like my daughter really wanted to play over there. But as we were walking over there, you're getting just closer and closer, like staring at their butts.
How loud did he say that?
Not loud enough for the girls to hear, but if they did hear, I imagine a 7-year-old saying that would just make them laugh.
Yeah, but then they all
or you
would have
get
looked
sued.
and to see who he was saying it to, and then they all would have been staring at you, and you would have had to have some sort of reaction.
Yeah. Though I guess, like, I imagine the 6-year-old probably in the story probably said, "I'm going to plow you until next week," and the teacher, instead of trying to explain to him that wasn't right language, just overreacted.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean,
Like-
it's 2019. It's all we do is overreact to everything.
Yeah, like you could have just been like, "Do you even know what that means?" And he probably doesn't, as opposed to being like, "Oh my God, he said that. We're going to end a holiday that's about people caring about each other."
The teacher probably gave the kid a note and said, "Call me when you're 10."
The teacher gave him a note, "We got to cancel Valentine's Day at school so you can plow me at home."
That's right.
Jay, so I noticed that you put a best 10 cover songs on Jay Loves Music. Do you want to have a Jay Loves Music segment on our show?
I know Bri does.
Sure, why not?
I haven't looked at your list yet, but I was wondering, is it a good list, Jay?
I think it is. I posted it.
Brian, have you seen the list? You want to hear Jay?
I have not seen the list. Sure, I'd like to see it.
By the way, Jay, for whatever reason, is all his site is posting Weezer albums that are all different colors. He's got like a teal review, a blue review, a white review, and he won't review Pinkerton because he's an asshole.
Well, the thing is, I told Mark that I would review Pinkerton once I did all their self-titled albums. And I don't think Mark realizes how many self-titled albums they have.
Oh my God. Okay, so Bri.
Yeah.
The first number one on his list. Is this like an order of best or just like is the order like
No
1 to 10?
particular order.
Okay. Okay, so the first one is a song I did not know was a cover. Me and Bobby McGee.
Okay.
Is that top 10 worthy, Bri?
Of all time?
Of all time, best cover songs of all time.
See, a lot of times it's a top 10 cover because the original version is such shit.
Oh, okay. You're not just doing it because the new version, like the version, the popular version is a really great song. You're doing it because of the original version being crap.
I was kind of basing it on like the amount of improvement the cover made on the original.
Okay, so you're grading on like
a little bit of a curve, like
so it's kind of like a double-edged thing.
So it's kind of like in schools how they want to reward teachers if like the stupid kids get smarter in their class.
A little bit. I mean, I'm not picking any bad covers. It has to be a good song, and I gave extra points if it's like if they really took a shit song and made it very good.
Okay. I guess we can't really hit play. Do you want to play the songs or no? I can't play them and have us hear them on the show.
I mean, I could. I mean, do you want to?
We don't have to play them.
Okay, fine. So the first one, me and Bob McGee. Just why don't you, Brian, just give your opinion? Is this like yes or no? Is this like worthy of the top 10?
I don't know what song that is.
You don't know me, but it's Janis Joplin.
I thought it was Janis Joplin. I don't think I know it.
It's a really good song. I don't know if it's a.
Is she the cover or is she the original?
She's the cover.
She's the cover.
Who did the original?
Roger Miller.
I'll abstain from this one.
Okay. The next one is Tainted Love. The popular song is by Soft Cell, and you really like Tainted Love, Jay?
Yeah, it's a really good song.
Oh, every time I hear it on the radio, I just change the station.
So
yeah, I'm not a big fan of that song.
Okay, let's move to the next one. Your list kind of sucks already, Jay. But by the way, did the Fine Young Cannibals get sued for Good Thing?
It's the same exact tune as Tainted Love.
I mean, a lot of songs are similar tunes, but Good Thing's a much better song.
But it's the same song.
Okay, so the Alabama song by Doors, which is not the most popular Doors song.
No, but they didn't really do any covers except this song.
Yeah, but you also could have just not chosen this song. Your list, what kind of fucking list is this so far, Jay? Okay, let's move on to number 4. Black Magic Woman was originally recorded by Fleetwood Mac and Santana. Oh, I didn't know that. Actually, that's an interesting one at least. And Santana has the popular version. Did you know that, Bri? That Black Magic Woman was a cover?
Yeah, I don't even think I know that song.
Jay, do you have one song on the list that Bri knows?
He's got to know the next one.
Okay. This one
I know Tainted Love. I don't like it, but
this one's on every list for best cover songs all along the Watchtower. Bob Dylan does the original. Hendrix does the better version. Totally agree with that one.
yeah, I know that song. That song is done by so many people. I never knew who did the original.
Oh, yeah. It's not as well known as Bob Dylan did the original, but Hendrix actually, they would have made a good duo. Like I think Hendrix should have sang every one of Bob Dylan's songs.
Or anybody else other than Bob Dylan.
Yeah. Okay. This one's Blinded by the Light. The original is by Bruce Springsteen. And surprisingly, the more popular version is by Manfred Mann. Is it called? It's called Manfred Mann's Earth Band.
Yeah,
I did not know that. I always just thought it was Manfred Mann.
See, this is a very educational post.
I don't know that one either.
Okay. This bit also is awesome. Later on, we're going to have another podcast cover our bit. Live and Let Die was originally a decent song by Wings. Actually, it was a pretty good song by Wings. Guns N' Roses does a better version. But as far as improvement, I have to say, like, this should not be on. If you're talking about improvement, the Wings version is actually a pretty good version.
Guns N' Roses one is much better.
I don't know if it's that much better to put on this list.
It's a good version.
It's like, because the Wings version is actually a really good song. Like, it's not like the Bob Dylan, like, all along the Watchtower, Bob Dylan's kind of a forgettable song. Okay. Do you know what? Turn the Page, like the Metallica version versus the Bob Seger version.
Yeah.
I feel like this would be a similar one because they're both really good versions, just done differently.
See, I don't like either version.
Of Turn the Page?
I just don't like the song.
Oh, I like the song a lot. Okay, number 8, Nothing Compares to You by Sinead O'Connor. Who's the original? It was written by Prince?
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't perform it though. He just wrote it for her. I
Right.
thought.
Exactly.
That's not a cover song.
No. She's the original, and then Chris Cornell covered it.
Okay, so the version she had was insanely popular.
Yeah.
The version Chris Cornell had
Cornell.
is an interesting fact by people that know Chris Cornell.
Right, but it's really
and nobody
really,
knew until he died that he did it.
and it's really good.
Now Chris Cornell's the greatest singer of all time. Now that he's dead.
I mean, I like Chris Cornell's the one in Stone Temple Pilots, right?
No.
Soundgarden.
Oh, he's Soundgarden. Yeah, he's really good at the Soundgarden, but like afterwards, he wasn't that great.
Well, he was really good when he covered Nothing Compares to You.
You're really this is one also where the original probably is better than I haven't heard his version, but Sinead's version was insanely popular.
Well, it's good that you're making a judgment based on the one version you didn't hear.
I mean, it's fair. I have not heard Chris Cornell's version, but it's weird that you take a song that was really, really popular and claim there's a better version.
Well,
Jay, have you heard
there is a better
the new version of Zombie by Bad Wolves?
I have not.
Zombie by the Cranberries?
Yeah, I know the Cranberries one. I don't know Bad Wolves at all.
It's called Bad Wolves. It came out last year. It's like a metal version.
Oh.
I might want to check it out and add to your list.
Yeah. Maybe.
You should be like also like do things on your list like, Fields of Gold by Sting? I saw a band the other day in my town that did a better cover version.
Well, I mean, Chris Cornell is not a local cover band.
I know, but it's just weird that you took like a Chris. Okay, number 9.
It was never released. I think that's the problem, that nobody knew that, right?
Right. Yeah, it's not.
I hear that song all the time on Sirius. Like when he died, they played it a bunch, but
yeah, he didn't put it on any of his albums. That was the thing.
Yeah.
Bro, you've heard both versions. Is his version so much better than the original version?
I haven't heard his in a while. Like I can hear Sinead O'Connor's in my head.
Jay, play this.
Cornell, I can't. Like I haven't listened to in a while, so I couldn't give you a good answer.
Jay, could you play this?
Which one?
The Chris Cornell version. We're going to assume everyone in the audience knows the Sinead O'Connor version because it was insanely popular.
Yeah.
I go out all night and sleep all day.
Yeah, I like hers better.
All right, you like hers better?
Yeah,
I like Chris Cornell, but he gets a little too like carried away.
Yeah, I was gonna say I like Chris Cornell also. Just okay.
He does a good cover of Billie Jean. Is it Billie Jean?
I haven't got to the end of your list, but is Weezer doing Africa on the list?
No.
Just like song, people just copying, like doing the exact same song.
Well, that's the opening paragraph saying I don't get the point of bands doing exact copies. It doesn't like that's not a good cover to me. That's like okay, you copied the song, great.
Well, it's fun.
That's just another band playing that song.
Yeah, it's like karaoke.
Well, it's sometimes fun in a concert to hear them play a different song.
Right, but
yeah,
I wouldn't like
it is just karaoke.
Yeah, if it's an exact copy, I'm not like, oh, I got to get that song and I'm going to listen to that. I'll just listen to the original.
So the next one I think is a really good one, actually.
Jay, could you do 10 worst covers next?
Yeah, I actually have a draft for that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
I have a nomination.
Oh, well,
hang on. Let's finish this list and then let's give our nominations. Number 9, Mad World, which was originally recorded by Tears for Fears, but the better versions by Gary Jules. I completely agree with that. It's just funny to have, just like the Bruce Springsteen song, like it's funny that the more popular artist made the worst version.
Yeah.
But do you know this song, Bri?
I don't think so. Maybe if I heard it, I might know it.
Have you seen Donnie Darko?
No.
Okay. That's a good movie. And
no,
this is from.
You know this is the Gary Jules.
Me are familiar faces, worn out places, worn out faces, bright and early for the daily races.
Never heard that?
It sounds kind of familiar. Who did the original? Springsteen?
Tears for Fears.
No, Tears for
Oh,
Fears. Okay, the next one I did not know was a cover, Turn, 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 which was Pete Seeger, and covered by the Byrds. So you don't put like Aretha Franklin Respect on here, which is usually like a very common one to put on the these top 10 lists.
Yeah, I mean, it was better. It didn't like wow me that it was that much better than the original.
Okay, I'm trying to think of anyone else you've left off. Brian, any songs that he covers that you feel like he should have put on there?
Nothing's really coming to mind. Like in terms of like classic no-brainers.
Well, you could go to jlovesmusic.wordpress.com and add yours, or facebook.com/jlovesmusic.
Did you know that
Sanity.com.
Do you know that Torn by Natalie Imbruglia is a cover?
I did not know that.
Yeah, apparently it's a cover. Jay, what should be Brian, what should be on Jay's list for the worst ones?
Sounds of Silence by Disturbed.
Okay.
I didn't think it was that bad.
Oh God, I thought it was awful. It was the worst thing I ever heard. And another one is Five Finger Death Punch did the song by the Animals.
House of the Rising Sun.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna put that on my listen to it before I finish my worst list.
I forget. I think it's Five Finger Death Punch. It's either them or All That Remains. It's like a metal version. It's just it'll make you want to jump off a bridge.
You know what? I was looking up other people's worst lists, and that was on every single one. So it's
it's horrible.
Okay,
I got two good ones for you. On the top 10, I can't think of the worst ones, but do you know that Smooth Criminal by Michael Jackson? What's that Alien
Ant Farm? Ugh.
You don't like that? That's a pretty cool. It's a pretty cool version of it.
I thought it was
And the
all right.
other.
Oh, Nonpoint does In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins. That's a pretty good version.
Here's one you should have put on there. Gin and Juice, the country version of it.
I have not heard that.
Oh, what about Hurt?
Have you not? I actually put that on the top 10 worst list.
Really? I like the Johnny Cash version better than Nine Inch Nails.
I thought
I also hate Nine Inch Nails. So
I thought they were about the same to me.
I thought the Johnny Cash version kind of sucked. I like Johnny Cash. I thought that version sucked. It was so overrated. I don't know. He's kind of just talking. He's not even singing in the song.
Well, that's Johnny Cash.
No, but he used to sing a little more. It wasn't that good of a version, I feel like. But you should look up Gin and Juice country version. It's a totally different take on the song. It's really good.
Okay.
Look it up now. Play it on the show.
now.
The Gourds.
Now.
The Gourds, is that it?
I don't know. Here we go. That's it. That's the song.
Some wine, keep coming up funky ass shit, nearly every single day. Can I kick a little something? Bars and
Very
cheese,
southern.
Mike, a few friends as a breeze through. Don't you know it's 2 in the morning and our party's still jumping? 'Cause my mama ain't home. I got bitches in the living room getting me on. And
All right.
No, it's a pretty. I mean, obviously, I like the original version. Is also a very good song, but it's a very. I like when it's a totally different take on the song. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Bri, you got a top 10 list or top 5 list you want to do? Or did you just tell us you want to do a top 5 list and not want to do one?
Oh yeah, the annoying things people say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to do a top 5 annoying words or phrases that people use in today's day and age.
Not in the 1980s.
Right? Yeah. No.
Jay, did you do the top 5?
I did not.
Okay, I made it through 3. So
I have 50. So
Okay.
I have one or two just because I guess I'm old and I don't understand them, so I'll throw those in.
Yeah, I had 3, and then I was just out of them. Bri, why don't you start off since you?
I think the problem is I don't talk to people anymore.
That's what I was thinking also.
I don't either, but it's just people I work with and stuff I see online.
Mhm.
But they don't say those things as much. The thing is, I was you said the idea, and then I'm like, well, let me see what people say when I talk to them. They don't really talk to people. Okay, Bri, you started off.
legit.
Too legit.
No,
To
people
quit?
say legit. Like, I think they use it in place of literally, which is another annoying one.
Like, I legit want a burger for lunch.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, like I could see that being enough. Why do we all as a society agreed that we're going to use the word literally completely wrong?
David Cross has a great bit about that.
Yeah.
So my first one was when someone says something like bad, they're like, "Oh man, my car broke down," and you're like, "Oh, sorry, dude," and they're like, "Well, it's not your fault." Can people understand the idea of empathy? We're just saying sorry because we feel bad for the situation. We're not actually taking credit for it. Stop saying it's not your fault. We fucking know that.
I like
That's-
that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jay, can you make one up on the spot?
I don't know what on fleek means. I don't like the way
On-
it sounds.
I've never heard of that.
On what?
On fleek?
Could you spell that and put it into a sentence?
No.
Could you put it into a sentence? I have no idea. Like, in what context is it used?
I don't know. Trevor Noah used it a few times on The Daily Show, and I'm like, I don't know what it means, and I hate the way it sounds.
Well, I kind of wish Trevor Noah's Daily Show just didn't could none of us talk about it and pretend it doesn't exist?
That's what I've been doing.
Yeah, I stopped watching it. It's, every episode, all episode, it's about Trump. It's like you're just not going to cover any other news the entire 4 years. So
I've started watching a little bit of who's on after Jimmy Fallon. Who's the other guy?
I don't know.
it's
I'm in
Jimmy-
bed way before that.
Well, I tape it. He has like he has
Seth
like a
Meyers?
Seth is it Seth Meyers? Yeah, he has a funny news. He does like a little news segment, like a Daily Show-ish segment to start the show, and it's like okay, but it's still so much better than what Trevor Noah does that I'll watch it.
You know, I'm sick of the Trump jokes.
I don't dislike the Trump joke. I like when they're funny. And
Most
if you
of
do
them
them, they're
aren't.
funny.
Most of them are just like, oh, Trump's orange and he's bad, and it's like, I'm over it.
Well,
I get
yeah,
it.
well,
I
I'm
get it.
over.
It's-
I'm over the unoriginal. Like, as long as it's funny, Trevor Noah is just not that funny. He just points stuff out and has a little bit of high and mighty attitude towards stuff, which is fine. But he's got to be funny. The whole point of the show is to be funny.
Mm.
Did you like the Daily Show when it was with Jon Stewart?
Yeah, and I liked it even better when it was Craig Kilborn, and I liked it the most when it was John Oliver.
For that summer?
Yeah.
Jon Oliver's good. I just as long as they're funny, but the Trump joke. You don't like any Trump jokes, or you just don't like the old, the same ones that are over and over again.
I think I'm just over it. Is there any new ones? Like, it's all the same recycled hack bits, and it's just I don't know. It's just played out.
What does fleek mean? Wet fart?
I don't know.
The definition I'm looking here. The definition of fleek is basically moisture from your ass, a shart or a wet fart. That is the meaning of fleek.
I don't know. The way he was saying it, it seemed like he was well dressed, but I don't know.
Oh, and well-dressed people can fleek out their butts, I guess.
Yeah.
Brian, what's your next one?
I don't know what stay woke means,
That was my second one.
or just woke in general. Like, I don't understand that. Like, what does that mean?
I don't understand woke and trigger. I think those both things are just stop. Those are my woke triggers. The people saying those things.
Woke, trigger, and lit. I don't get that one either.
Damn.
Well, I
Okay,
thought
you
lit
just
is getting fucked up.
you just said the rest of my stuff.
Isn't lit being like joking? Noah said he was lit in New York. You meant he was trashed.
That's what I think. Yeah.
What Brian? What do you think lit means?
I have no idea. I've seen it in so many weird contexts that.
What does woke mean?
Well, welcome to the We're Old podcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really I mean, I understand the trigger thing. I understand what they're trying to say, but it's also shut the fuck up. But the woke. What is woke?
I think that means you're hip to what's going on.
Alert to injustice in society, especially racism.
Yeah. See, there you go. So you know what's up.
So how do you use it?
I'm woke to that.
I woke up this morning,
So I'm woke.
so I'm woke. I got woke when I woke because I had a dream, and the dream made me woke.
My alarm clock
The alarm went off, and now I'm woke.
Yeah, now I'm woke. The alarm kept going off.
Woke is a slang term that is easing into the mainstream from some varieties of dialect called African American Vernacular English. I was sleeping, but now I'm woke. Woke is increasingly used as a byword for social awareness.
Cool.
What does stay woke mean? It means I don't understand black people, apparently. What's Jay? You got another one, or are you going to go back to Bri?
No, Bri rattled off like all of mine in that last.
My next one, I did the woken trigger thing. My next one was, I think I've said this in the show before, but anytime someone calls you boss and they're not employed by you, I find it weird.
I hate bruh.
I don't hang out. I'm not cool enough to hear people call me bruh.
Well, I've never no, but I just see people I see that on Twitter and stuff, and it just makes me want to get a gun and kill people.
What about son?
What?
Son. Like, what's up, son?
I hate being called kid.
Is it okay that I say that what's up, son, to my own?
It's probably okay. Yeah.
Okay. You can say it to your son or the son, but I think that's about it.
Okay. The boss thing, they're like, I got help from someone at Dwayne Reed, and the guy's like, whatever. I don't know how you say. He's like, okay, boss.
Actually, a guy called me boss today on the phone.
Yeah, you're like, dude. And even if he were employed by you, it would be a weird thing to actually call your boss.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start calling my boss that.
What's up, boss? Yeah, I don't understand that one. What else you got, Bri? You said you have 50. Do you have another one on your list?
I got another one. It's more of a texting thing. AF, which I guess is short for as fuck.
Yeah.
It's kind of annoying.
I actually, you guys should play a game where see how many guesses it takes me to actually get that way. I've never gotten as fuck.
Yeah, I have at work they give us adjustment forms and it says AF, and I'm immature and I giggle whenever I see that.
What does it stand for at work?
Adjustment form.
Oh, okay. Actually, I should. Someone's gonna text me and be like, "Why are you talking about my adjustment form?"
And the big one is bae.
Oh, yes.
How do you use the word bae outside of a reference to a body of water?
Are you serious, Mark?
Bae, B-A-E.
Okay, so again, how do you use bae in reference to something that's not a body of water?
I swear Mark's 10 years older than all of us.
I did just turn 40, so
join the club.
Yeah, we're older than you.
Brian, are you 41 also? Or you're turning... You're 40?
I just turned 40, yeah.
Yeah, because Jay, you're turning 41 this summer, right?
Yeah, Jay is a week older than me.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm catching up to you. One day I'll pass you guys. How do you use what the fuck does Bay mean? Like Jason Bay, he played for the Mets for a little while?
Yes, that's exactly it. He went viral.
What the hell does Bay mean?
It's like boyfriend and girlfriend.
Okay. I still don't understand.
It's somebody before anyone else or something like that.
You would just be like, "Hey, Bay, you're my Bay."
I got you, Bay.
Michael Bay. Transformers, Michael Bay.
Okay, a person's boyfriend or a girlfriend.
Yeah.
So it's like unisex?
Yeah.
Urban Dictionary says it's an acronym that stands for before anyone else. Or a shortened version of baby or babe. Because that needed to be shortened.
Yeah, because it's just such long words.
Soon we're just doing grunts and syllables.
It's so annoying. Like, everything gets, abbreviated and shortened. It's just,
It's the text message world, babe.
I guess.
Everyone wants to write everything, shorter. That's where everything got so... Once we started doing... emails didn't do it as much. But, once we started doing text messaging, it made everything more annoying. That's in social media. Everyone shortens everything to everything has to become a fucking acronym.
Yep. I know. I see people if I'm reading Twitter, I see just letters, and I'm like, that's not a word. There's no vowels. And then I have to Google what that means to figure out what the fuck the person's talking about.
I lose interest way before I start doing that.
Yeah.
But eventually, you'll see someone someone will just send you a message. It'll say LBCLDA B. You're like, what are you trying to tell me? You're like, oh, I sent you a soliloquy from Hamlet. Yeah, that's kind of annoying.
All right. That was.
Hey, is it weird to you guys that like do you guys use Siri or like Google Assistant or Alexa or any of those?
No.
No.
Is it weird that they're all women?
You could change it.
You can?
I'm pretty sure.
Because I feel like we're just like in all these things we're just ordering around women, which is fine, but it's kind of weird that no one makes a big deal about that.
Oh, guys, I have bad news. Should have led the show with this.
Surprise! Like I have cancer.
So, I've laughed at Blazing Saddles several times, so I could never have a political career.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Jay, did we ever do blackface? I don't think we ever did.
No.
No, we're saving that for our 500th episode.
I did yellowface when I went as Homer Simpson on Halloween, but
I also cross-dressed once, so that's insensitive to the gay community.
So is that the new thing that's going to come? I mean, like, I think blackface and cross-dressing are much different. But is that going to be a new thing like 30, 20 years from now? People are like, Jay cross-dressed back in these old pictures. He's unfit to be in office.
I would not be surprised.
he's not going to be my CPA.
You cannot do my taxes, sir. I've seen you wear a dress.
Yeah.
Then again, like, at what point in our lifetime was blackface like, that was acceptable?
I don't think it was.
20 years ago?
How many years ago?
25, 20, 30?
Maybe it's because we didn't live in that part of the country.
Whenever all those guys had their pictures.
It's a lot of people coming out. Did you see the SNL bit on that?
No.
They did a kind of fun.
Yeah, I did. That was funny.
That was pretty funny. So they had basically, it was supposed to be all like government officials in Virginia, and they were like, "So who's done blackface?" And everyone's like, just basically everyone in the room basically had done blackface. It was just kind of a way.
Just describing it differently, like
yeah. They're like, "No, I put black paint on my face, but it wasn't blackface." They're like, "Okay, you did blackface. Stop talking." It was funny. Every once in a while, SNL has a decent bit these days.
Yeah.
Do you want to let's just do some quick questions and then end the show?
Yep.
Okay. Andrew writes, have you guys ever been on a ghost tour anywhere?
No.
Bri, how much would you charge for people to take a ghost tour with Ghost Dog?
Well, I don't know where he would take you on a tour, but
Ghost Dog could take you to like where he shits, and you
probably do the honor system and just have like a little donation bucket. You could donate whatever you want to it.
Okay.
This is where I shit, and this is where Bri lives, and end of tour.
This is where the black man lives that's gonna kill Bri. Would you do a ghost tour? Like if you went to wherever, like when they had a ghost tour, would you be like, I want to do this?
Doubtful.
Hey, Bri, speaking of ghost tours, when's your psychic coming on the show?
I have not talked to her in like 2 years.
No?
So
I
like
don't know
3
whatever happened
episodes
to
ago?
What?
So like 3 episodes ago?
Why don't you just give her a call? She'll be expecting your call.
I texted her a while, like a couple months ago, because I thought there was a ghost in my house, and she never answered me.
Oh. Andrew, do you still think is the ghost your dog? And if not, do you still
No, the ghost isn't my dog, but I thought the ghost was scaring my dog. Because
tell us more.
He was like, first of all, he would get for his whole life. He like if I leave, like if I go out somewhere, he just doesn't care. He's just like, whatever, I don't care. He just whatever.
The
But
ghost
during
or your
this, like,
dog?
No, my dog.
Okay.
During this like 3 or 4 week period, like anytime I would leave, he would like follow me to the door, and he would like just sit there and like whine when I left, and we'd be sitting on the couch, and he'd be like looking up like at the top of the stairs and like turning his head like he was like listening to something or somebody was talking to him. It was just a really bizarre situation, and then all of a sudden it just like went away.
Do you think the ghost is the last guy that confronted Stickman?
This was way before Stickman.
How did your psychic ignore all this?
What?
It seems pretty major. How could a psychic ignore that?
I texted her and I texted her about it, and then she said she was having surgery, and she would get back to me, and then I texted her like, what she said like her surgery was like in like 2 days, so I texted her in like 5 days, and I was just like, oh, hope everything went well, and how you doing? And she never answered me, and I was like, oh, okay. Well, maybe she died. I don't know.
With a psychic, like she's like, I want to have surgery in 2 days. Do you go, oh, how's it going to go?
No.
Andrew writes,
you should just troll her and just ask her all questions like that. Every text is just like her assuming she knows the answer.
I think I deleted her number, but I probably have it somewhere.
You're like, hey, what's up? How's tomorrow going for you? Andrew writes, when is Bry going to another NASCAR race? If he does, he should record live from the track.
Yeah, no, that's awfully loud.
When did you go to a NASCAR race?
God, it's probably been almost like 10 years now.
Okay, so this is maybe something you talked about prior to me being on the show.
Yeah, we talked about that a while ago, I think, or maybe with one of the other guys.
Was it a fun experience?
It was different. It was cool because you can bring as much. The only thing you can't bring in is a gun or glass. Like I brought like a huge cooler full of beer in there. It's just like, oh yeah, there's no cans. Yep, come on in.
So in NASCAR world, you can't bring a gun to the race, but you can bring a gun to school.
I guess, yeah.
I feel like Andrew should be the official Brink historian.
He's really good about this stuff.
He probably knows more about us than like we know about each other because we don't listen to each other half the time we talk.
So, Brian, would you recommend to a friend to go to NASCAR once a decade?
It's worth checking out. I mean, it's a long day, but
Wait, where did you go? Where was the race?
It was in New Hampshire.
Oh, fuck, I'm not going there. Andrew writes, update for Mark about the ghosting thing. The girl you went out with and then ghosted now lives in your town. Any updates? Oh, yeah. There was some girl I went out with a couple times and then I ghosted, I guess, before the term became cool. And now she lives in my town. And I think her kid's the same age. I think her oldest is the same age as my son and goes to my son's school. So I'm hoping they're not in the same class anytime soon.
Yeah, well, weren't you worried that like they were going to have a play date or something and then it was going to get real awkward?
I think she has a daughter, so hopefully he doesn't end up dating her. Because that'd be weird. But
what are the odds she even remembers you?
Yeah, by the way, if my son ends up dating her, I'm going to make sure my son ghosts her daughter. It runs in the family. Yeah, I mean I also kind of think like maybe she doesn't even recognize me. I mean, it was I've been with my wife now for almost 14 years, so it was a while ago. So there's a chance she probably doesn't even recognize me. Andrew writes, also I've acquired @JLivesMusic on Twitter. So if Jay wants that, he owes me 50% of the future Jay Loves Music franchise. Why @JLivesMusic?
Remember, because Jay Loves Music was taken by 2 different people.
Oh, I think this is just a miss. I think it's just a miss. I think he meant to write Jay Loves Music.
I don't know. It might be Jay Lives. Isn't Jay Loves Music taken? Remember we did that like.
Yeah. Well, I think maybe his joke is that he's taking ad number 3 from you. Now you have to pay him for it, not like a different name.
Well, shit.
Bri, so here's a question for you, Bri. By the way, did your new did you get any reaction to your top 10 post?
I posted it 5 minutes before we started recording, so you were my reaction.
Okay, because I like that. I think that's one of the best. I think that's the best post you've done.
Oh, thank you.
I thought it was interesting. Bri, why do you think no one comes to Jay's site?
No one knows about it?
Yeah.
How should Jay get the word out about his site besides talking about it on a podcast no one listens to?
That's trouble.
Jay wants to get more people to the site and grow the site, and it's not growing as fast as he would like. So far, the total number of people going to the site are Jay and me making comments on his site.
It's not far off from the truth.
So, right, what would you have you seen his site?
No. What site?
I appreciate the honesty.
Jay Loves Music. He posts. We just did a top 10 from his site.
Oh.
How would you improve? Did you not know he was doing this?
Who's Jay?
Okay, fuck it. Okay. We have some questions from last show, and then we'll be done. Okay. Jason writes, "R.I.P. Brink Show." Jason writes, "Guys, have woke up for work. He means woke in the more normal sense. I woke up for work this Tuesday morning and do not see the podcast. When I become a millionaire from stock trading in 5 years, how can I trust to hire you to make personal content for me?" Jay?
We're very motivated by money.
We'll work for cash.
Yeah, we're doing this for free, so you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
Jay, so
since our crypto scheme didn't work out.
Yeah.
If this guy who's posting on our site, this guy Jason, really becomes a multimillionaire and wants to pay you to do his own personal podcast for him and offers to double your salary, will you make your career just doing a personal podcast for him?
Yep.
What if he'll half your salary?
Oh, well, absolutely.
Jason also writes, "Guys, can we brainstorm some names for future investing channel?" He wants to do a channel of our investing. Brian, tell me what you think of these names.
I like how everyone asks us for like investment advice. Like we're the 3 most broke people in the world.
So
I'm broke and I don't know how to invest.
Yeah.
Melanolial investing. Ultra Instinct Investing.
I'm pretty sure that was millennial.
It doesn't say millennial.
Okay.
I guess maybe it is millennial. Plus Ultra Investing. Big Goals Investing. Super Saiyan Investing.
Ooh.
New York. Yeah, I like that one. And New York City Invest in Boys, ending with a Z.
No.
It says with a Z so people know we cool and modern.
What about Brink of Sanity Investing?
P.S. This question is for the show that never got done Tuesday. How about we make money investing?
Tuesday?
How about the New York Knicks investing podcast?
I like that. That'd actually probably be the best one. Rosario writes, "Is it okay to be addicted to coffee if it gets you to work every day?"
What is this like strange coffee phenomenon?
It's been around for hundreds of years and stimulates people. What do you?
No, I don't mean coffee itself, but it's like it seems like the whole world is so just annoyingly obsessed with coffee. It's I remember I was in the store a couple mornings ago. And somebody did something. And they're like, "I didn't have my coffee yet." I'm like, "Why are you telling me that? I don't fucking care." I don't even know you, and I'm never going to see you again. I don't care if you've had your coffee.
Well, people make that as an excuse for being an asshole. They're like, do something like jerkish, and they're like, "Well, sorry, I haven't had my coffee yet." You're like, "Well, this is how you react. Coffee should be next to your bedside."
Yeah.
How much coffee do you guys drink in a day?
Barely a cup.
0 cups.
Ah. I do one, sometimes a second.
When my anxiety got bad, I quit coffee.
You know, when I had the flu, I was like, I'm feeling like shit. I might as well just quit coffee now. Also, it could be a good time to quit coffee. But then I was reading online that the withdrawal symptoms for stopping coffee can feel like flu-like symptoms.
So maybe you just never had the flu.
Well, I was like, well, I don't want to now be confused whether the flu's still going on or I'm just still getting over the coffee thing. So I made sure I drink coffee every morning.
Isn't everything a flu-like symptom? Oh no, I'm nauseous. I might have the flu. Oh no, my body's sore. I might have the flu.
Yeah, it's called being tired and having a headache.
Is it okay to be addicted to coffee?
Do you think it's a physical addiction?
It is.
That's another word people throw around. I'm addicted to coffee. Oh, I'm addicted.
No, it is because
I'm addicted to Instagram.
You know
what I'm addicted to? Air and water. That's what I can't live without.
Well, it's actually the whole thing is coffee. Actually, is caffeine's a physical addiction. If you don't have it, if you're addicted to it, if you don't have it, it will actually you'll feel withdrawal.
Yeah, when I quit, the first 2 weeks were terrible, and then it was all of a sudden everything was back to normal, but. It was 2 weeks of I have a headache every day. That's great.
Yeah, no, it's a drug. So you get off the drug, your body. All the reason I even drink coffee now is to get rid of the headache that I would have if I don't drink the coffee.
Yeah.
Doesn't wake me up. All it does is get me back to the normal that I felt like before I started drinking coffee.
Yep.
Yeah, Brian, does that make more sense to you? Or
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it's not you can't get addicted to it, but just people throw that word addicted out so like loosely these days.
No, you're right. When
Like,
people,
I'm addicted to Dancing with the Stars. Oh, really? You would die if you don't watch it? I don't think so.
next week, can we do a top 5 things things that people say that Brian does not hate them for?
I
I don't know.
don't know if there's. I don't think there's 5.
Jason writes, last question. Guys in my company or guys in company or index fund is your biggest stock or equity position in? What company or index fund is your biggest investment in?
This isn't an investing show.
75% of my portfolio is in Wendy's, Fizz, which is LaCroix makers, and ZTR Global Dividend. This sounds like a totally different show. 20. This is so I can't stop laughing because it's like, what kind of question are we getting for our show? Just like totally, we couldn't be any less qualified to answer this question. 25%. The rest I play and gamble with as I read earnings reports. Companies I'm looking to add are Lockheed Martin, Bank of America, and Aptiv PLC.
Cool.
So, what's
Good
that show?
luck.
Kramer? What's the
Yeah.
What's the name of the show?
Mad Money.
Yeah. So Mad J. Do you think this is a good investment?
Sounds good to me.
Would you suggest he sells off his Wendy's stock and buys crypto? Arby's, yeah. Or buys Arby's coin?
They do have the meats.
That's it.
Why do they in their new commercials like specify they mean for eating? Jason, oh God. Jason writes. He's got some more questions. What are some We're almost done.
Didn't
what
you
are some
say last
challenges?
question like 4 questions ago?
They're out of order apparently. What are some challengers Jason and Mark see when starting an investing YouTube channel? How can we become Kramer Mad Money, but on YouTube? As I don't see no one else doing it besides that Jason album review website being much more potentially profitable. So what are the challenges, Jay? So the challenge is he's identified your music site really takes off, and that distracts you. What else would be a challenge to us?
All that kiddie porn that's on YouTube now.
My job forced me to sell all my investments, and I'm not allowed to invest now. That could be a hamper on an investment site.
Our lack of knowledge of the stock market.
Yeah.
Lack of knowledge is a good one.
Lack of funding, lack of knowledge,
Lack of money.
lack of
yeah.
interest.
It's a good idea if we knew something.
Yeah, that's the problem. We don't know anything. I don't know what I would bring to the table.
That's what so Jason, that's what Jay keeps saying is that I would do the site, but I have no idea what I talk about on the show. Can you please give Jay a pep talk and explain to him what he could talk about in the show?
I think Jason should give us like 20 more ideas for shows that we can do about stuff we have no idea about.
Jason also writes, Jason, all of Netflix Marvel shows like Daredevil and Luke Cage have been canceled due to Disney releasing soon their own streaming services. But Disney stock now, should you buy Disney stock now or short it? And how will Disney compete with Netflix or vice versa? Brian, you want to feel this one or Jay?
Disney will be just fine.
Do you want to buy Disney stock or should you short it?
I think you buy it.
I think Disney's Netflix will not do it. Will be a failure. It'll be a big flop.
I just got real Netflix.
Is that different than regular Netflix?
Well, I mean, finally, like everyone else has had it for like a decade.
You never had Netflix?
I had it like 10 years ago.
I've had it for like 6 months, and I don't think I've watched anything on it. I think my dad's on my account. He watches more stuff than me.
Why don't you watch anything on there?
Because I don't know. There's nothing I really care to watch.
There's some pretty good shows. Narcos is pretty good. You should watch Narcos.
Mm.
I don't know what. You don't like any TV shows, so. Actually, you know what? Actually, do you have Amazon Prime?
I do. I only
Um,
use it for the free shipping.
Yeah, I was gonna say because you like Justified, right?
Yeah.
So the same guy that did Justified did a show on Amazon Prime called Sneaky Pete.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same guy that does Justified. I
Oh,
watched
that's with what's his name? Giovanni Fabrici, right?
Yeah, I've watched like the first 3 episodes. It seems pretty good, actually.
Yeah, there's a lot of good people on that show.
Yeah, it's the guy from Breaking Bad's in it.
Oh, yeah.
So probably worth checking out. I mean, if you, I started watching. I watched the first 3 episodes. I could see it being a pretty good show. Jay, what have you watched on Netflix so far?
Stranger Things.
It's a pretty good show.
I mean, I got Netflix 4 days ago, so
Okay. What was the impetus to like get it?
30-day free trial.
Oh, okay. Are you gonna keep it? Or I guess we'll have to find out for our next episode.
Yeah.
Jay, you
stay
gotta
tuned.
watch Norm Macdonald has a show.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I watched the David Spade interview. It was pretty good.
Yeah, that's probably the best one.
Yeah, I watched the Judge Judy one, which was
It
it was
weird.
kind of weird. It was actually kind of she said some stuff that was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like all that.
It's just weird seeing her out of character.
Yeah, it wasn't all that funny. It was just kind of really interesting.
Mm.
And what else is what other? I don't know. There's only 2 I've checked out. Which other ones are good?
I forget who else. The Michael Keaton one I think was pretty good.
I'll check that one out next. But Jay, start with the David Spade one. That one was a really good one.
All right.
Um,
Is that it?
Jason, you wish. Jason writes,
Happy
Mark,
trail. Oh, I'm
we're
sorry.
almost done. We're almost done.
You said that an hour ago.
Yeah.
Okay. Mark, as I get older, I'm starting to see how useless college can be if you pick the wrong major. Not to mention $60K plus cost a useless degree can cost.
Do we have anyone who listens who's not looking for a shortcut through life?
What steps will you take ensuring your child does not make the same mistakes Jason did? I'm sure he's talking about a different Jason. My wife and I have debated this. Not that it matters our opinion, but I would strongly encourage our kids to pick a major that like actually matters, and not something stupid like English.
It's good.
No
advice.
offense if you guys were English. Would you encourage your kids to pick a major that like gives you some skills versus just like liberal arts?
Yeah, absolutely.
Bri?
Yeah.
I mean, I studied business and I don't know shit. So I probably should have done something that actually like mattered.
All right. Next question.
Jason writes, Mark, what was it that was sick? Was it the flu? And what did they give you to cure it? Seems like everyone has the flu at this point. I ended up having pneummonia, and I had which we talked about the right show, but they gave me like strong antibiotics, and I'm also allergic to penicillin, which doesn't help. Liam writes, now that Jason finishes the CPA, what was the total cost of it?
A lot.
Yeah, it was a lot. I don't know.
what?
6,000.
Why don't you just say like 30% of your soul?
2 years of my life and $6,000.
That's still zero.
Liam writes, how much is it? How much is too much to spend on a college degree?
$5.
Would you spend? Some schools are now like $60,000 or $70,000 a year. Is that worthwhile to spend that much money on college?
No.
I guess it depends what you're doing and studying.
Let's just say you're going to Harvard and studying engineering or something there. Would it be worth the $70,000 a year sticker price? And you take out a big loan, so you're basically paying $300,000. You're in $300,000 in debt after 4 years.
Well, I think Harvard's a bad example because you're probably, if given the opportunity to go there, you probably have to take it, don't you?
Well, those schools also have like huge networking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's fair. Okay, let's just say you're going to spend $70,000 a year to go to jloveuniversities.com.
Part of the J Loves franchise.
So like Trump University.
Jay, what would people learn at your school?
What to love and how to love it.
Jay gives like seminars on music. Jay, why don't you just start your own college?
I mean, I could probably teach classes on how to have failed projects.
Yeah, you could probably. There's a lot of things you could do. You could teach like CPA stuff. You could teach music no one gives a shit about.
Video editing.
video editing, but like everyone gets an incomplete in that class. You could teach like
What not to
How to-
invest in crypto?
yeah, like this is we could do a whole university here. I could teach everyone about like small like ants. Teach you about when you go to the supermarket, like just because there's frosting on the box doesn't mean it's in the package.
You could teach kids how to stretch a podcast 30 minutes after it should have ended.
Exactly. Liam writes, "What is the last two questions? What is the nastiest
You
thing
fucking
you've
said
seen?"
that like 20 questions ago. I don't believe you.
These are really. What is the nastiest thing you've seen at in a work bathroom besides the shit tissues not being flipped properly?
My work bathroom is pretty clean, so I don't see a lot of.
A cockroach?
I mean,
I don't really like cockroaches.
piss like literally everywhere.
Who does that? But it's like that is a common thing.
It looked like the person like spun around while he was pissing.
Last question, Jason writes, guys, what stock would benefit most from Trump getting his wall and winning the government shutdown disputes?
Halliburton.
I guess buying stock on the company that's building the wall.
Yeah.
Okay, what did we learn today, Bri?
We learned that. What did we learn? That you were very sick.
Yes. Jay, what did we learn this week?
We learned that you have very strong opinions about songs you've never heard.
I'm going to say we learned the epic conclusion to Stickman.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. I think we all agree with hopefully there.
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. We will not take 2 months to do the next episode.
I don't know if we read this last show, and maybe we posted questions previously, but Andrew wrote in a previous thread, do you think Stickman takes his shirt off to go to the bathroom as well?
No, you did read that one. I remember it.
Oh, that's pretty funny. Okay, we can end.
Sure, you don't want to just dig through the archives for any questions when you missed over the last 11 years?
I thought that was funny. Whatever.
My love. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. It's all over. Goodbye. It's time to go. This is the end. Say goodbye. Go away. I'm gonna leave you. It's the end. Goodbye. Goodbye. Just leave me alone. Feels so good to say goodbye. I'm sick and tired and I'm saying goodbye. Goodbye, girl. Goodbye, 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 everybody.
Oh, by the way, I linked my